welcome here on this night of the 15th of Sha'ban, and congratulations to you all on the birth of Imam al-Mahdi alayhi salam. We're here to do the Areeza to the Imam, which means we're here to write a letter to the Imam of our thoughts and of our wishes, and to convey our feelings to him. And in this sense, when we are here, the connection with the Imam feels as though it's something real, because often the Imam occupies a space in our mind, at the back of our mind, where we don't really remember the Imam. So the fact that we physically come out and we're doing something and writing a letter to the Imam of our time, I think that in itself makes that whole connection with the Imam something real. I think if I say that Imam al-Mahdi alayhi salam is the conclusion or the culmination of the efforts of all the prophets, from Adam to Rasulullah, I wouldn't be amiss. He is connected to each and every single one of the prophets. In fact, I was reading tonight, and one of the best amals for the night, such as this, is to seek knowledge. I was reading Shaykh al-Sadr's book on Imam al-Mahdi alayhi salam, and he says that Shaykh al-Sadr says that Imam al-Mahdi is most similar to Prophet Nuh alayhi salam because of his age, but also because Nuh was the second father after the destruction of the world. And in the same sense, Imam al-Mahdi will be like another father after the world is remade and reformed. So in that sense, there is that parallel between Nuh alayhi salam and Imam al-Mahdi alayhi salam, and also because of the fact that Nuh alayhi salam preached for a whole 950 years to his people. There's a parallel between Idris alayhi salam and Imam al-Mahdi because of Masjid al-Sahla, which is the house of Idris alayhi salam and which will become the house of Imam al-Mahdi alayhi salam. There is a parallel between Imam al-Mahdi and Ibrahim alayhi salam because with the Mahdi is the culmination or the connection of the two lines of Ismail and Ishaq, the two sons of Ibrahim alayhi salam. And it is said that all the Abrahamic religions will be joined together by the Mahdi when he arrives. There is a parallel between Musa alayhi salam and Imam al-Mahdi alayhi salam because of the way he was born and the manner of his birth, which didn't become apparent, same as the birth of Musa alayhi salam. There is a parallel between Dawood and Sulaiman because he will be the king. There is a parallel with Isa alayhi salam because he will rule with Isa alayhi salam together. In fact, Mahdi and Isa alayhi salam symbolize the intellectual, moral, and perhaps the spiritual completion of humanity. And I think obviously there is a parallel with Rasulullah when Rasulullah says that the Imam of our time, the last Imam, will be the likeness of me. In fact, not just in his manners, but also in his form. He will look like Rasulullah as well. Not just the name Mahdi, Muhammad or Abul Qasim. He will be called Abul Qasim after Rasulullah. He will be named Muhammad, and he will also look like Rasulullah. So that's that interesting parallel. And every single Ma'soom, from Imam Ali to Fatima to Zahra to Imam al-Hussein and Imam al-Sadiq and all the later ones, have remembered Imam al-Mahdi alayhi salam in their lives at some point or another. The most poignant being the remembrance of Imam al-Mahdi by Fatima to Zahra in the darbar of the first caliph after the injustice that was done to her. In terms of the motivation for us, he's the Imam of our time. How wonderful would it be that we were living in the time of Rasulullah, our Prophet, and we had access to him. But at the same time, we're living in the time of Imam al-Mahdi alayhi salam. Isn't it wonderful that he is our Imam rather than anybody else? And Imam al-Sadiq says, blessed be those who believe in those that which they have not seen. And once Rasulullah stops in the middle of while he's walking, and he says, peace be upon my brothers, they will be the ones who are the people of the last times where they will believe in Allah without seeing Him, they will believe in their Prophet without seeing Him, and they will believe in their Imam without seeing him. Um, just 2 words about Mahdaviism, and then inshallah we will do the Areeza. I think for us as people living in Manchester, it's really important to foster a sense of community, because when the Imam al-Hujjah appears, he will create or come to a community that is just, in which there is no concept of charity, because the earth will spill out its treasures and there will be abundance. So when we think about what we have now, we have an opportunity to do good, an opportunity to construct a community, an opportunity to work in the name of the Imam of our time and to prepare for his return. I would recommend that everybody read Sayyid Khamenei's book called The 250-year-old Man, in which he discusses the lives of each of the 14 infallibles and what lessons apply in this day. He has a very short, maybe 10-page chapter about Mahdaviism and the Islamic community that will exist. We are living in a time of oppression, in the time of suffering, in the time of war, where we are seeing death of lots of innocent people and war, and we feel perhaps powerless to do something, and perhaps we're crying out for a Messiah to come and rescue us. And maybe we need to empower ourselves to help us in doing some of this rescuing. I don't know what you've asked the Imam. Maybe you've asked him that he returns. Maybe you've asked some of the things that I've mentioned, that we end up with a righteous community, a just community, maybe even something local to Manchester, maybe that we sort out the affairs of this city at a local level. Maybe that's what you've wished. Maybe you've asked that we realize the fullness of the potential of this community, or maybe the fullness of the potential that we were born with as individuals, at an individual level. I don't know what you've asked, but maybe it's some of those things that you might want to ask for. Maybe you just want him to come back and save you all, or save us all. Or maybe you just want to say that, can I be part of your mission? I don't know. I'm just throwing out some themes at you. Maybe you want to ask something completely different, of something that I haven't even thought of. So yeah, ask whatever you want. He's the Imam of your time. Build a connection with him. The thing about writing something is that it offloads what you are thinking and makes it something concrete. And once it becomes concrete, maybe you realize, or maybe you appreciate something that you perhaps hadn't appreciated whilst the thought was still in your mind, if that makes sense. This tradition of writing an Areeza, it originates obviously from Ghaibat I think it's Ghaibat al-Sughra. And then when the 4 Naibin were there, the letters would be sent to the Imam. In fact, you could say that it originates from Imam al-Askari alayhi salam, even before Imam al-Mahdi, because people would write letters to their Imam whilst he was in captivity in Samarra. So it's a tradition that's old. It's a tradition that is well referenced. So those who put doubt in this tradition, there are plenty of evidences and references. You don't need to physically write an Areeza. Maybe you can just speak the words and maybe the wind will carry them to the Imam. Maybe you can think of the things in your mind, and maybe they will get carried to the Imam. But writing a letter, I think there's a different feel to it. So that's why we're here. As for the Areeza itself, I've got copies if anybody needs them. I think everybody's got them. But let's get together, recite Dua Faraj, and then I'll read the Dua for the Areeza, and then we can, inshallah, deposit the Areeza. Whilst you're doing this, I think the best way to get your dua is accepted is to do dua for others. So my dua is that may Allah accept all your duas, and may Allah grant you whatever it is that you're yearning for. And may Allah enroll you all in the service of Imam al-Hujjah alayhi salam, and may you all be the Ansar of Imam al-Hujjah alayhi salam. And if perhaps we die and we don't get to see the Imam of our time, maybe we do the same dua as that the person who boarded the Ark of Nuh alayhi salam did. Zurriyatan hamalna ma'a Nuh. Or maybe the dua of Ibrahim alayhi salam. That maybe someone from our Zurriya, 1,000 years from now, 2,000 years, I don't know, 5,000 years from now, Ibrahim was 5,000 years ago, is part of the Ansar of the Imam of our time. So we don't know what will happen. Maybe 5,000 years from now, I don't know, maybe sooner. Hopefully we get to see the Imam. If we don't, our dua is that somebody from our Zurriya is part of his Ansar, and may Allah grant us a death in the way of the Imam of our time. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. One of the amal of this night is that we do a ziyarah of Abu Abdullah al-Husayn alayhi salam. So I think Qibla is that way anyway. So if we say Assalamu alayka ya Abu Abdullah al-Husayn, Assalamu alayka wa ala al-arwah allati hallat bifina'ik wa anakhat birahlik, alayka minni salamullahi abadan ma baqitu wa baqiya al-layla wa an-nahar wa la ja'alahu Allahu akhir al-ahd minni li ziyaratikum. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين وعلى ذرية الحسين عليه السلام. السلام عليكم جميع أهل البيت ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم كن لوليك الحجة بن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم. الفاتحة. So as you know, the Imam had four naibin. They were Uthman bin Sa'id, Muhammad bin Osman, Hussein bin Ruh, and Ali bin Muhammad. So you can ask, so this is probably the strongest argument that you have for wasila, by the way, as well. So all of these naibin, they're not masoom, yet you're asking the wasila of these to reach the Imam of your time. Not even Allah to reach the Imam of your time. So you can take the name of any of these naibin and you can deposit your Areeza in the water, and as you're doing it, the dua is Ya Hussein bin Ruh, Assalamu alayka, ashhadu anna wafataka fi sabilillahi wa annaka hayyun inda Allah ta'ala marzuqun wa qad khatabtuka fi hayatika allati laka inda Allah azza wa jalla wa hadhihi ruq'ati وحاجتي إلى مولانا عليه السلام فسلمها عليه فأنت ثقة الأمين. So we here have recognized that Hussein bin Ruh, although has passed away, yet is finding his sustenance with Allah and will carry this message, this ruq'ah, to the Imam of our time and with our salams, because we know that Hussein bin Ruh or any of the other naibin are trustworthy. So Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. If you wish to go ahead and deposit your Areeza in the water.